What's going on, guys? Welcome along to another video, and today we are going to do an unbox, an installation and a review of the INNOVV K6 camera system. Now, disclaimer, they did send me this product to test and review, but as always with pretty much every product I get sent, A, it's an honest review, they've not told me what to say, B, I'll be doing a giveaway of this product later on in the year. So if you want to be in a chance to win this exact product, subscribe to the channel and let's get into it. One thing I actually really like about the K6, even before I get into testing it, is the fact that it can be powered in two different ways. Obviously, like most other motorcycle dash cams, they're powered by the battery, but what's cool with this one is it can also be powered by USB. So depending on where you mount it or how you mount it, you could move it between bikes, or if you wanted to put it onto a push bike, something like that, you can do, because you could just plug it and power it by the USB. It doesn't have to be wires integrated into the bike. So, nice little feature. And that's how I will be powering the K6 camera via USB. If you haven't checked out my other video, top right hand corner, you'll see a Thunderbox video. If you are going to install this product via the battery, highly recommend getting a Thunderbox, because it goes into that and it just sorts everything out. So it turns on with ignition rather than being live all the time. Having motorcycle dash cams on your bike can be, let's face it, a bit of a lifesaver if it comes to an insurance claim. The other person says they didn't do something they did. If you've got one of these fitted, it's a no-brainer. You're going to win your case. So for the cost of £250, this could potentially save your no claims bonus. Looking at the front camera then, it seems very sturdy. It definitely is waterproof, IP67. The front camera is going to be 2K and then the rear is going to be 1080p. The front over the rear, there is quite a size difference. One thing that annoys me with pretty much every motorcycle dash cam is the length of cable that they give you. At the end of the day, the bike is only a few feet long. I don't know why I need 12 foot of cabling, but hey, they still do it, they still provide it, and then if that's not long enough, you've got an extension cable in the box as well. So looking at some of the extra features the K6 provides, we've not only got normal recording, but you've got loop recording, which means it will save short segments of video and then fill the memory card up, and then when it gets in the memory card, it will then come back around and then keep recording. But obviously it will delete the oldest data on the memory card. Talking about memory cards, this camera can hold up to 256 gigabyte, which with a 2K and a 1080p camera, the file size aren't going to be that big. That's going to be more than enough storage for you to leave it on there for a while before extracting any footage. Obviously there's no battery life to worry about because this is just powered via the bike. And INNOVV have a really decent app as well, which we'll get into once we've installed it onto the bike. What's a really cool feature as well is the rear camera has live streaming. So when the system is connected to your phone, if your phone is on your handlebar, you can actually project what's happening behind you onto your phone. Obviously, this doesn't negate doing your lifesaver checks anyway. It's just another layer of added features, which makes things a bit safer. If you don't have any USB charging points on your bike, you can actually get a power bank, and you can find somewhere to hide the power bank, like a little bag or something at the front, attach the handlebars or whatever, and actually power the camera via USB. Power pack. Well, enough sitting around, let's go and install the K6 camera onto the GSA. Looking at the front camera then, there's a couple of different mounting options. You've got your kind of mirror mount. There's a mount for the GoPro style mounts, which on the front of the GS, I have got a guard concept bracket, I suppose, and on the left hand side of that is actually a GoPro mount, so I'm going to mount mine onto there. But it's kind of just working out which one is best for you. There is a third option, which is kind of like a screw mount, so off the mirror, off the indicator, something like that. Yeah, just work out what works for your bike and what works for you. It is as simple, like I said, choosing which mounting option you want, putting it on, putting it in place. Now my only concern is it doesn't go back too much, because the front camera is actually quite big. But we'll test it and we'll see if it works there or not. There are some little black inserts with 3M tape that you can put on the inside of the bracket to kind of snug that gap down a little. Ah, much better. Much better. Yeah. Cool. So that's what we'll do. Literally just going to insert this little bit of 3M strip on the inside of that bracket. 3M spacer installed. I'm just going to lightly tighten it for now, just so I can adjust the camera angle later on. Connecting the USB between the two cables that come off the front camera. One's a male, one's a female, so you can't get it wrong. Just gonna leave that dangling for now. Okay, so the rear has taken me longer than I'd like to admit. I have in the past stuck it with 3M tape kind of on the side of the light. On another camera I've used the actual indicator screw to be the kind of mounting point. So that's what I was going for. But the single hardware, so the one L bracket that comes for the rear mount option, it just didn't allow the right angle. So it comes with a couple of options, as in L mount bracket, sorry. So I've kind of daisy chained a few of these brackets together. And now, keep that screw. And then that is how it's going to sit. I want to tighten up all the joints. Again, leaving them somewhat loose, so I can adjust them once I've connected the app. To grab the app, there is a QR code in the instructions. Let that download and then finish off the wiring. Now on the GSA, I'm not going to strip everything down and wire this so it's absolutely perfect. At the end of the day, this will be coming off once this test period has finished. Front cable's connected, and all I'm going to do with the GSA is just feed some of this wiring underneath the plastic on top of the tank. Grab a few cable ties and then tie it up. The kit does actually come with some kind of cable tie management, little 3M backing so you can put them wherever you want on the bike. And there we go, cable management done, apps downloaded, USB into the bike. Go onto your Wi-Fi, then you'll see the INNOVV Wi-Fi. Click that and then put in the password 12345678. It connects. And previously that green light was flashing when it wasn't connected. Now it is connected. It's solid green and solid red. On the app you can choose the front, the rear, the front and rear. So the front will be the large and then the rear will be in the top left hand corner, or rear front, which will be in the rear large, front, top left hand corner. Like with any of these cameras, when you're adjusting them in your garage, might not always be right, so always take the tools with you. So on the first ride, you can adjust when you're out. You can go into the settings, you can change the resolution. So the image orientations, loop recordings, check your SD card, see how much space you got. So the app is pretty basic, but at the end of the day, it's got what you need. So you can see your videos, take pictures, and then download any videos that you may record. So when you go onto files, go to camera files, and then you've got some other options, and then this will be where you can download the files, highlight what you want, press download, and then they'll move over to the local files, I assume. Again, the size of the files, the size of the quality image, how many files you download in, it will depend how long this process takes. It is quite slow. Anyway, so that's the unbox and the installation. Installation wise, yeah, really easy. Like I said, hardest part for me was actually working out how I was going to mount it at the rear. Cable management, you can take your time and kind of take the seats off, take the plastic off and wind it all the way through. Obviously it's summer in the UK, so it's raining, so I will take this out tomorrow, but for you it'll be a split second. So let's go and test out the K6 camera quality and see what we think. Hey caramba, it is warm today, mid-20s, so let's get this part done. So obviously I've brought out my tools with me, because there's nothing worse than checking the camera footage and it being skew with. Just had a quick check on the phone using the app and they seem okay. I've not adjusted them since I installed them in the garage, but yeah, they seem okay for now, so I'm gonna make no adjustments. I may need to later on if I get onto the computer and it's completely skew with, but I've shown the computer I can readjust slightly, so at the minute we're good. For me, what I like about the K6 the most is actually the ease of installation. Now, this is now the third set of motorcycle dash cams that I've installed on the bike, and hands down, without a doubt, the easiest to install. And that's purely for the fact that it can go straight into the USB port. Yes, if I wanted to, I could install it straight into the battery. And like I said, I've got the Thunderbox little dongle attached to the battery, which means it distributes the power so it turns on and off. So I don't need to find a live on ignition cable to install it to. I can put it straight into that box and it's good to go. So if you do want to install this onto the battery, 100% recommend getting a Thunderbox. I will leave a link for the product and my video that I've done on the Thunderbox. Let's face it, we tend to be creature of habits. If things seem hard to do or install, we tend to not want to do it or put it off installing it. So this way, it's a case of just finding somewhere to mount your cameras and plugging it into the USB. You're done. INNOVV have been making some fantastic cameras for a long time now, so they know what they're doing. They're a well-established company, and you can't go wrong from buying from them. Let's not forget that the K6 also has the capability to live stream. So I've got a quad lock mount for my phone at the front here. If I wanted, I could have my phone on that mount, connect it via the app, and put it into live streaming mode, which means I can then see behind me on the screen. I think the fact they've added that as an optional feature, I think is really good. Because there's other units out there like the Chiggy, which are twice the price, but that is also a feature that they have. But as I say on the Chiggy video as well, just because you can see behind you, that doesn't negate doing the lifesaver checks over your shoulders. Don't get lazy whilst driving or riding. Don't always rely on technology. I'm about 20 meters from the van in front. Can we read the reg? For reference, it's Whiskey Uniform 72 Kilo Hotel Bravo. Can we read it, or is it only when we are right up close can we read it? On DSR, I've been doing giveaways now, so once a month I do a giveaway of products that have been sent to me to test and review and make videos on for the channel. And then once I've done them, I then do giveaways. June, we done some dual headset Bluetooth communication units. July, I gave away the 7-inch car pure ride screen. So what I'm saying is, if you want to be in a chance to win this exact K6 motorcycle dashcam unit, subscribe to the channel, because it will be coming on as a giveaway at some point in the near future. The front camera is 2.7K and the rear is 1080. Can you tell a massive difference between the two? Now I think, just from a couple of posts I've seen without doing full research, the K7, so obviously the one-up model from this, I think has 2.7K on the front and rear. So if you think that this rear is just a little bit too grainy, not clear enough for you, whatever it may be, then potentially you want to start looking at the K7. People have asked in the past, is it good enough to buy an action camera to have the front or the rear instead of a motorcycle dash cam? And it is completely up to you. I know I can leave these dash cams on and more than likely no one will want to steal them, but I can guarantee if I left a GoPro on the front and or the rear, someone would nick it. Sadly, it is just the world we live in nowadays. So yeah, I'd rather have dash cams rather than an action camera at the front or the rear. Okay, so now we've got a car in the front and the rear. End of the day, there's two main factors. Can I clearly see what is going on? And what would be nice is if you could grab a screen grab or a screenshot with the reg on. How does the footage look going in and out of the shadows as well? Because sometimes cheaper quality cameras can struggle with the harsh light and the dark shadows and the back and forth.
So I'm back now editing the footage from this video and looking on a computer screen of the difference between the front and the rear. You can definitely tell the difference between the 1080 and the 2.7. Is it enough to warrant spending the extra money on the K7 so you've got 2.7 front and rear? That's going to be down to the individual person. For me personally, I think I can see enough detail with the 1080 that I wouldn't warrant spending the extra. But again, if you want it to be that extra bit crisper, potentially be able to see more detail or number plates from a little bit further, etc., then you may want to up to the K7. Some people may think that £250 is quite a lot of money, but at the end of the day, it's a device that you're going to put on your bike and hopefully not need to use. So it's kind of like you buy it, you install it, and hopefully you forget about it. But with the added feature, if you do need it, it is there. Well guys, I hope you have enjoyed my unbox, installation and review on the INNOVV K6 for 2024. If you have, give us a like, thumbs up, more importantly subscribe to the channel, helps us keep growing. Nothing else to say, but until next one, ride safe.